Hey, everybody, welcome to Midwest Prayer Talk Radio. I'm Greg. That is Deb. Welcome to our Thursday show. The whole time that was going on, the cat was in the chair, winding up her back feet like she's going to pounce after something.
Wind it up.
She was. Oh, yeah.
Go girl. I love that girl.
On the YouTubes and on the Facebooks and on the Twitches and on the other Facebook page. I just applied for us to get back on to TikTok Live. I know we were on there for a while, and then they changed their parameters or their guidelines or whatever, so we had to reapply. So we're doing that right now and should be hearing back from them either Monday or Tuesday to get us back on to the TikTok Live for all you guys to, follow us and want to watch us on TikTok. So let's see. At about 40 minutes ago, Deb's went off.
Oh, I wish we'd have been recording too, because
you're right. It wasn't on.
No, you got a first-hand sound. Is that the first time you've heard it?
Yeah.
Yes, that bitch is loud.
I've heard the Geiger counter going, the beep beeps and whatnot, but
it ticks, yeah, tick, tick, tick. You know what? And it's been my baseline is usually like 12, 10, 12, something like that. It's been running up in the 30s, and I don't know why or what's changed. So, yeah. I don't know. I haven't popped out any new eyes or any shit like that, but my hair is getting white. I don't know.
Your hair's getting white. I've been white. You know what? I started turning gray in the temples at 25.
Mine are like the Bride of Frankenstein white right here, but the overall hair is starting to lighten up. I was outside in the sun for a couple hours today, walking around, and I happened to catch a glimpse of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, I'm blonde. And I'm really not, because my natural hair color is very dark and a very flat brown. There's not a lot of highlight, and there's no red. So I'm like, dang, I'm getting old. It's just getting old. And I'm not going to complain, because a lot of people I know didn't get the chance to get old. So
yeah,
it's all good, But
I don't know. I can complain.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to complain every day, because I always do about my little hurts and whatnots. But it's a beautiful sunny day here today. What's it doing there your way?
It is nice here too, but we got rain coming, and my leg has been telling me about it all day long.
It's 80 degrees here and sun, and yeah, like I said, I spent a couple hours outside today just because I could.
I haven't done squat. I mowed yesterday, and with my broke down body, it seems like I have to have a day to recover, which is really weird, because I never used to have to do that. And it seems like here lately, it's like I'll mow, and it's so uneven, the ground, that it just shakes my insides, and then I'm done. I'm trash the next day. So I just kind of been chilling out, watching the YouTubes and all that today. So
I used to mow my grandma's front yard with a push mower.
Right. One of those that didn't have a mower or a motor on it. Just one of those.
No, yeah. I was the motor. And I used to love doing that. Yep. I used to love doing that.
I never mowed the yard with that. I always had the motorized ones, but I always had to have a bagger on it. So every 2 or 3 swipes, you had to stop and dump the grass into the trash can. And yeah.
This one chopped it all up in little tiny pieces. Of course, she lived on Denny Street in Indianapolis, so it's not like she had bigger than a postage stamp for a yard anyway. It was that damn little, slope down to the sidewalk that was killer.
Right, yeah. Make sure you went in front of the mower when it was going on, yeah.
For right.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, if you ever feel like pushing a lawn, you can come on down here and see me. I got some lawn for you to push.
I'm too over that shit now.
Me too.
We've been messing around online here for the last hour trying to get these
We have.
uh, videos and things. I go on TikTok all the time now. Waste my time on TikTok looking at videos. I don't I don't post a lot. I post a little bit, but not much. Most of it's just I like to look, and so I found my way into like paranormal TikTok and UFO TikTok and all those, and I've seen some pretty crazy videos, and I send them all to Greg. So we're gonna talk about some of those later here.
Yeah, we're gonna put some up and share them with you guys, and then we're gonna discuss. I think I'm gonna start off with the one that you sent on the 21st. Actually, no, I'm not. We're gonna play the one of the demon house up in uh, that town up next 25 minutes away from you. What is that?
Getting
Shit.
old sucks, don't it?
Yeah. What city is that? Shit.
There's a bunch of cities up there. Damn teeth.
And
Doggone it. Now I can't think of it. Is it on the video?
it probably will be. But we're gonna start off. We're gonna jump around and discuss those.
There's all kinds of haunted places around here.
My God. Now that's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to do the Googles.
Okay. Hmm.
Not the Zach Gaggins one.
Indiana.
Which, in all honesty, they did a movie
Whispers. The Monroe House.
Yes, the Monroe House.
Okay. That's 39 miles from me, so I'm assuming that's the one that we're talking about in Hartford City.
Yes, Hartford City. That's it.
Yep.
Jesus, I could not remember
Thank
that.
God for the Googles. Welcome to your 50s, dude. It only gets worse. No.
I tell you, like I tell Billy, shut up. You.
That's why I write everything down, because hell, I can't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday sometimes.
Right.
You know, especially when life gets too hectic, too much going on.
That is a fact. But yeah, we're going to start off with some videos like that and let's discuss and tell you guys what we think about it. You know, and there are a couple. And you have to, disclaimer, you have to go into it with a non-judgy disposition when you look at these videos. You weren't there, you don't know what was going on at the time, you didn't take the evidence, you didn't, you know what I mean? So you got to kind of be careful with how, like, for our watchers to actually see these videos and to think about their conclusions. And I always tell that to people, and I've said it a million times, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but people will ask me to look at some evidence and tell them what I think about it. And I'm like, well, I mean, the best I could do is give you an opinion. I can't tell you that you're wrong in thinking what you think about this evidence because I wasn't there. I don't know what was going on. I didn't take the evidence. It's not my camera. It's not my audio equipment. The best I can do is tell you what I could possibly be or what I could possibly think it could be. And you just, you kind of have to go with that. But, I'm not here to judge nobody. Do what you want to do and think what you want to think. But sometimes doing that, you're just wrong.
Yeah, and sometimes when people ask you for your opinion and then you give it, then they get pissy because they get mad because it wasn't what they wanted to hear. It's like, well, then don't ask me because I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to tell you what I think because that's what you asked me for.
I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing for you.
No, if you don't want to hear what I think, don't ask me. It's not hard. It ain't rocket science, folks.
Right. I mean, my biggest thing with the paranormal and doing investigating and stuff right now is that I'm not here to prove to you that the paranormal is real. I have my evidence, I have my belief systems. I've seen things that skeptics have not seen, but they, I mean, if you want to, you think what you want to think, but I've just seen too much on my own to know that it's not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I'm a believer. I believe I'm open minded to all this shit. So when I see something, you know, first off, and I'll be sending you things all the time, and
Right.
you know, damn, whoa, look at that, that's wild, you know. And Greg's like, that's a reflection. I'm like, you asshole. Now, because now I see it, you know, you take the wind out of my sails because I get excited, you know.
Right.
Because sometimes when I see something at first, you know, that's why I always, when I'm presented with evidence, I get that immediate, oh, cool, yay, get all excited. But then I realize you need to cool your jets because it might not be what you think it is. You know, let's work through this. You know, so. But there's so much to see out there. My God, there's so much on the internet now that there's so many video clips, and there's a whole ton of people out there trying to pull the wool over your eyes because they just want to get clicks and they want their 15 minutes of fame or whatever. Maybe they can get their video on paranormal caught on camera or some shit like that. You know, although I would say, in my opinion, the case for actual hoaxes, intentional hoaxes, I think that's fairly small. I think the great majority of the stuff out there is just misidentified stuff.
Yeah.
And people get like me and they get excited when they see something that they're already open minded. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But there's real legitimate stuff out there. But thanks to AI and Photoshop and all that other nifty software shit that you can get now for next to nothing, and all these amateur graphic design artists who want to make
Right.
cool stuff, where it's really making it hard for you to shift out separate the chaff from the wheat.
Yeah.
So
And it really started getting like that about 5-10 years ago when everyone really started getting into Photoshop and doing all that mess. And it's easy to manipulate things, way more easier than what you would think to manipulate things. And I mean,
it's even still. I mean, I barely can do Photoshop. There's just so many different layers and things that it can do, and I have no clue. But AI is even easier. AI does all the work for you. You just tell it what you want. And
right.
it's like, geez, thank God AI still sucks at hands and fingers and toes. Otherwise, it'd be really difficult to figure out fake
Oh,
stuff,
you can see significant discrepancies in deep fakes with AI. There's a couple videos that I've seen running around the internet, just the stuff that I look at where the audio doesn't match the lips.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking when I'm watching things now, if I watch the lips move, the movement of the mouth and the facial muscles is slightly off. And
Yeah.
when you watch that stuff, and if you see something that gives you the little like, oh, that don't quite fit, but you can't put your finger on it, 99% of the time that's fake.
That is. Yep.
It's fake because you won't ever get that with a human,
Right.
with a real live person, ever. So watch the mouth, watch the eyes, watch the movement of the muscles around the eyes and the mouth. And eventually it'll show itself. I'm beginning to learn. I'm getting my sea legs with this AI shit. And like I said, AI has a really hard time with fingers and toes, you know. and usually makes more than you need or puts them in weird places. So look at those closely after you look at the facial muscles and stuff. It's a little harder to do with paranormal things, ghostly apparitions, and I mean it's a little harder to distinguish that. I think you need a little more sophisticated software. And I heard there was a program or two out there. I saw somebody use a program, and or it was a program or an app. I really would like to find it and get it, and I would even be willing to pay for it if it wasn't very expensive. But you can run a video through it, and it will look at a bunch of different things in the video that I can't even. I'm not even capable of looking at, uh, metadata wise and whatnot, and can
Right.
tell you percentage of likelihood that this is fake. And
Yeah.
that is fabulous. And that should be a tool that every paranormal researcher has in their arsenal. And I would love to find what it is. And, maybe that's something for the Googles later on the night after I'm done. But I recently just saw that and I thought, ooh, that's nifty. That would come in handy.
That would. And that's one of the things Billy and I were talking a week or so ago. And I think that we're going to incorporate more of a 100% debunk methodology as far as our investigating goes. Right now, we just take the information, we find it, and it's like, okay, that's cool. We'll see it on the video. I think that, and on the evidence, I think that what we're going to do is go full debunk mode when things start happening. Physical things. If somebody is getting pushed, look at the environment, what's going on. If something falls or something moves, water turns on, something to that effect, then we're 100% going in full on and trying to, okay, is it natural? Is this a natural event or is this a paranormal event?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting distracted there. My dog's outside my door.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been on a paranormal investigation for a while, and I'm kind of craving for one. But yeah, that's a good attitude to have. I mean, I've kind of always did that with when I was a marathon investigator for so many years. I go into the case. I'm open minded, but I'm also a skeptic in that. I just don't take everything at face value, and I don't think that it's wise to do that. And I'm a
Right.
full on experiencer, and I believe, everybody telling me stuff. I until you prove me wrong, I give you the, benefit of the doubt. And but I think that's the healthy and most stable way to go about it, honestly. And so
Right.
I always went into a case assuming there was and with the intentions of finding a prosaic answer or explanation, but
Mhm.
understanding that that may not be possible. That's the difference between a skeptic and a debunker. A skeptic is skeptical, but their mind isn't completely closed to it, and they will, and they're not on the other side too. I mean, you can be a believer to the point that if somebody shows you the actual reason something happened, you don't want to accept it. So you can go as far the other way
Right.
as you can the debunkers.
Yeah.
I try to stay in a healthy middle ground somewhere. Meaning, I probably go a little bit to the believer side because I'm an experiencer, but I'm
Right.
also very aware of that. So I work extra hard to try to figure out things. Plus,
Right.
that's just my Jones, man. I love figuring shit out. When I was a kid, I used to tear apart radios and take them apart to see how they worked, and then try to put them back together again, see if I could put them back together and they'd still work. And eventually, I could. Yeah, not at first, but eventually, I figured that out.
Yeah.
So, I love to see how things work, and how I love to see how I can make things happen, that way. And so I love to find answers to
Right.
questions and mysteries. So
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well,
that's
see,
probably all paranormal investigators are probably like that.
um, I think so. I've always, I don't know. I've always been cautious to be careful of what I say when I'm on an investigation, because I'm not sure exactly what's going on until I get hands on and try to figure it out. Um, you know, an investigation that was had that, there was a lot of dust flying around, and there's an overabundance of, oh look, there's an orb. Oh look, there's an
Yeah.
orb. Oh, look, no, no, that's not an orb. That's dust flying through the air. And then you
Yeah.
get that one like we were talking about last week or last Sunday, when you get the ones that when you're watching the video of the DVR, and you got 8 cameras on the screen, and your orb, your light anomaly will go from camera 2 to camera 4 over to camera 5 back up into 1, and it's all looping. It never once leaves side
Yeah. So
screen.
it's like inside your monitor, not in the
Yeah,
rooms,
exactly.
and it's playing with you. It's like, look at
Yeah,
me, look at
right.
me. Yeah,
Or you,
I love it when that happens.
right, or you see the wings of a bug, and someone's like, "Oh my god, look at that orb." No, look at the wings of
Yeah.
that bug.
Because
You
there
know,
are bugs out there. There are dust mites and there are dust flying around the air and pollen and everything. That's
100%.
there.
Right,
You can't
right.
just say not everything is a UFO or a spirit. Not everything.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean some are. I,
right. You just have to do your due diligence and
yeah,
a decent investigation to figure it out for sure.
if and as far as UFOs and stuff go, man, even if one case, all it takes is one case to be legit,
Right,
and you got the biggest thing in the history of mankind.
right.
And trust me, there's way more than one case. So
Well, I
we're
mean,
on.
we've had experiences that will solidify that comment.
I'm I'm glad I'm still alive in this era, and I'm seeing all the stuff coming out. Although I do want to say something. There's a lot of whistleblowers coming forward. There's a lot of government people that are coming forward. A lot of deathbed confessions and shit like that coming out. And, we've got the congressional hearings that have been going on and everything else, stuff that I didn't think I would ever live to see in my whole life with regards
Right.
to ufology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's almost overload.
Mhm.
And there's so much. And so much of it is connected to government now. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I try to avoid shit like that. But truth be known, I'm also not dumb.
Right.
And I also understand that not just our government, every government on the planet doesn't always tell their people the truth about a variety of shit, not just this, right?
Right.
So why do they think that anybody in their right mind would believe anything they say about something that they lied to us about for 60, 70 years?
Right.
No, I mean, it's not going to be that easy, guys. I'm sorry. And it's like watching a clown car, honestly, right now. The way everybody's swirling around, and this is coming out, this is leaking, this is a whistleblower here, whistleblower there, everything. And I'm like, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. And uh, so I don't know. I feel like they just need to shit or get off the pot. And then if once they do, I'm not really probably not likely to believe them 100% at this point. I mean, it's like believing
Yeah.
my gaslighting boyfriend, you know,
Right. Yeah.
after I didn't like him.
I don't know that at this point anyone can really take what they're saying at face value anyway.
I don't either.
There's
It's
just
disappointing.
there's too much being withheld and with just little crumbs of information that's bleeding out. Whistleblower this, whistleblower that. Oh, I found out this, I found out that. Until it happens and first contact is made, then I'll believe it when I see it. I mean,
Yeah.
anything
Well,
at this point, or or what I've seen personally. I
yeah, I
mean,
would say as far as I'm concerned, first contact's already made because I had it, and
yeah,
I know there's tens of millions of other people in the world who feel exactly the same way, and
right,
these people are the ones that the other ones are basically ignoring.
yeah,
And so
yeah, and
that's
giving
how,
and putting their own narrative on this
yeah.
situation and spewing out what they want out into the public eye.
And the fear thing, that's what I don't get. I mean, they're building their whole foundation for disclosure on fear.
Yeah.
And it's like
Well, fear
if
is
you
always
think about it,
in it though.
fear
You know,
is fear is how they control a lot of shit.
right? Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
started off, and I'm not trying to get in because you know how I feel about discussions of religion,
Yeah.
but you know, Catholicism and a whole, if you're not good, you're going to hell.
I know, dude. I
Right?
came from a whole herd of Catholics, so I know the drill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fear monger thing, and
Yeah.
for the longest time, the U.S. government wouldn't talk about UFOs at all because
And they bent over backwards to make sure anybody who did was completely
yeah,
obliterated, ridiculed to exist of not existing anymore.
right, because the U.S. public is not ready for that type of event because it would cause mass panic. And
Well,
I've
that's
heard that
crazy.
I don't know how many times,
Yeah, and that's bullshit.
right?
Honestly, I think
And I
it's
mean, quite
bullshit.
honestly, the public is more hip to what's going on than what you think they are. I mean, come on,
Exactly,
let's
because
be honest.
they've all seen it for
Experiences, yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
Exactly. And at this point in my life, I would as scary as my abduction scenarios or contact was when I was younger, and it was scary and traumatizing, and I've evolved through it, and it has changed. Um, I would consider an abduction a rescue mission at this point, and I would beg them to never bring me
uh,
back.
well, I mean, I don't know that I would go that far. I mean, you could
I
take
would.
a trip, homie, but I don't necessarily want to leave the planet. I mean, the only reason I would really want to leave the planet if there was some stuff like Star Trek where you can get on a Galaxy class cruiser and you know travel
Hey,
to
there might be.
yeah, not
You
yet,
don't know. Hey,
not yet.
dude, we don't know. We don't know what's out there.
I don't
And
know,
we don't
man.
know what's out. We don't know what's out there. Been out there a million years before we ever even got here. We
Right?
don't have. We know nothing. Nothing.
Did you see the stories about the tunnels underneath the pyramids?
I did,
I'm like, wait a minute, what? That would be kind of
and
cool
I
if it's actually true. You know what I mean?
right, I also saw the actual. I saw pictures of the actual Doppler or whatever
Yeah,
radar. How are they? And honestly, it did not look anything like the artist's rendition of what was under there, which was
yeah,
so fast. And so, I mean, I'm quite sure there's shit under the pyramids.
yeah.
I've never doubted that, but I don't think what they're trying to pass off is what actually is going on. Nobody knows. And we're not going to know till we go down there and look. And I don't think the Egyptian government is like cool with that. So they're the ones that have to say over what happens. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what's under there. We may never know. It's kind of cool. It's interesting. It's fun to speculate and try to imagine what it could be. But I
And
mean,
What if it's
The
all BS?
drawings are just drawing, you know.
You know, what if it's all BS? What if it's deflectionary tactic that's being used that, you know, they're deflecting us and occupying us with, oh, there's tunnels underneath the pyramids and something bigger is going on elsewhere
That could be.
in
I
a
mean,
ufology spectrum.
well, yeah, there's all, you know, there's all kinds of stories right now floating around about what's going on in Antarctica.
Mhm.
Like there's like alien bases in Antarctica, and there's
Right,
alien bases under the ocean. You know,
right.
whole bases under. They live under the ocean, and uh, there. I saw a video online not too long ago. A whistleblower again claims that the Anunnaki are returning to Earth in their spacecraft now, and they live under. They're coming. They go back under the water, and I'm like, how do these people know this and
Right.
get these words?
Yeah. How exactly are you getting this information?
The more details somebody talks about, the less I am likely to accept it. It's a red
Yeah.
flag for me because I've seen a lot of shit,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot I don't know. And I just say I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know who it was I had contact with. I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they went. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I, they didn't tell me shit.
Right.
That, and I feel like it would be like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking it would be like me trying to tell that squirrel out in my backyard that I bought him another bag of nuts at Myers. Like he don't know what the fuck I'm saying, and he don't know what Myers is. You know, he doesn't know that he doesn't know what the concept of purchasing something means. You know,
He just
and he just looks at me in blanks and thinks, "Don't kill me, lady." And I'm like, "Here's a nut," and he says, "Thank you," grabs it and runs away. Right?
right.
I mean, I'm the squirrel, and the aliens are here. They're not going to tell me. You know,
Yeah.
that's what my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I've seen things in the sky that I can't explain. And I don't care what anyone says. It's nobody's military doing any kind of exercises out where I'm at.
Oh, I
So
just read something the other day where the guy says that this is a whistle. This is a guy who claims that he's on his deathbed, that he has been given like a 6 months to live or something. He's going to tell the truth, and he says that the Tic Tac video that everybody talked about in 2017, that we've all seen on the news now and everything, is one of ours that was created, that was built by us between between rear back engineering, non-human intelligent craft, and our own human innovation combined to create this craft that uses an anti-gravity propulsion system that's capable of even of going out into space, not just flying in our atmosphere. And he claims that it's ours. We built that, and that Tic Tac video was something of ours. And he claims that Lou Elizondo and some other people out there who, have been talking about it, uh, are misinformation agents. You
yeah,
know, they're out there intentionally steering away from factual things because some clandestine fuckery is still going on.
right.
So that was interesting. I mean, interesting perspective, interesting information. I don't know whether it's true or not. And the guy posted this anonymously. And it's like, if you're on your deathbed, why would you bother to post anything anonymously? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, right.
I don't, so I don't know. I don't know. But see, this is the kind of shit we have to deal with now in ufology.
Yeah,
I don't know paranormal. I don't know if the paranormal world is anything like that, but it's getting crazy up in here in ufology. That's for sure. It's just like,
no,
what's this? And then your next thing is this, and then here, and then there. Then it's so many things coming at you all at once that you
yeah.
can't focus on anything. Maybe that's the point.
Truth be told, I haven't really heard anything one way or the other with weird shit like that for the paranormal.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
haven't either.
it's just, there's an investigation. These people are having problems. We're gonna go check it out. There's nothing that
Well, we
really
have our
my deathbed. I've there's a ghost actually walking. Or what? I mean, I guess it's not as big of a deal to say that I saw a ghost versus I saw a UFO or I saw an alien or I saw Bigfoot or a crypto. You know what I mean? You say I've seen a ghost and everyone's like, yeah, yeah, okay. You know?
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, "Yeah, me too. I saw one. I seen a
Right.
ghost one time. I seen a ghost one time."
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
I don't know, man.
I don't know though. Sometimes I'm getting uh, right before I retired from work. I used to get people come up to me in the break room, and when they would find out, be like, "You are you that UFO lady?" I'm like, "Yeah,"
Yeah.
and they'd be like, because I'm thinking to myself, here we go. Now I got to put up with this shit at work, you know. And then they're like, oh, I want to tell you this thing. One time I saw this thing, you know. So I'm here to tell you now, after 25 years of that, everybody's got a story, whether
Yeah.
it's ghosts or UFOs, and usually it's a lot of both.
Right.
So
I don't know, man. I love the stories. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy having paranormal conversations with people. I mean, that's
me
why I'm
too.
an investigator.
And you
I
can tell when somebody's telling you a story about their ghosts and all, man, they're like their eyes are big and they're really animated. You can feel,
yeah,
you know, these people believe what they saw
right.
and are telling you. You know, they're telling you the God's honest truth as they know it. You
Yes.
know,
But and on that, other side of the coin, you can also tell the ones that are BSing you. The more that I'm in this field and the longer that for the very long time that we've been in this field, I can smell BS 100 miles away. It's like, no, that's not what's
some
going on. You're full of
and well, sometimes they challenge. They think it's a challenge. They want to try and pull the wool over your eyes so that they can say, "See, you suck. You're a shitty investigator. You didn't, you know what I
right,
mean?" And you can tell when they're like, I mean, I don't know. I can tell when somebody's trying to be sketchy. You
right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah, I can too. And it seems like the last few investigations that they've called to the team to have us come out have been full of shit too. It's like
really, that's a
they,
bummer.
they don't have anything going on. I can tell you that right now. I don't know.
I
But
got some good news. Our
the,
buddy Forrest Crawford is going to retire next year. He let me know, and I said, "Oh boy, that means you'll be free for a lot more investigation." He goes, "Exactly."
oh, that's
Remember
funny.
Forrest that came on here was our guest that one.
Yeah, he's got
He
all the
has
equipment.
all the he's got all the good toys. Yeah.
He's over in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, he's not that far from you. I don't think he's
No,
probably more than an hour from you.
we're supposed to be it's an hour and a half, I think, from me
Yeah.
to St. Louis.
Yeah,
But
and I haven't seen him since
place
he's
that
come
we need,
back.
he has that place that we need to investigate. And it's summertime.
Uh-huh. I know.
Maybe you
Yeah,
could
that's
reach
true.
out to him and be like, "Hey, dude,
Hey, yeah.
you can come down this way, and we'll hook up with Bips, and we'll take some equipment, and he's got his equipment, and we can investigate together and meet up and
Uh-huh.
talk
Yeah, that'd
paranormal."
be
See,
fun.
those are the best times. I
Mhm.
still want to try to put on, and it's not going to happen this year like I wanted it to. I still want to put on a paranormal Paracon down here in the tri-state. There's only one other company that does it, but it's not really geared to paranormal or ufology or crypto or anything like that. It's more like a horror movie antics kind of thing. So, the Jasons and Freddys and spooktacular stuff. I think
Yeah.
the paranormal thing was kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh well, maybe we can get local team to come and talk paranormal stuff or whatever. And 3 or 4 of our teams showed up and we got to meet each other. So it was pretty cool. But I still want to do a Paracon down here. I want to do it a full on, ghosts and UFOs and crypto, Bigfoot, stuff like that. and have booths and all that set up. So I need to start trying to put that together and see what we can come up with.
They're kind of expensive.
Yeah, it will be in the long run, but I think I want to sell booth space for vendors. I'm also, if we get enough people involved and buy tickets for it, we can have food trucks come out and we can work out a deal with the food trucks. It's kind of a whole thing down here, so it'll be interesting to
That's
see.
cool.
So
Yeah.
on these videos that we have that Deb has found from TikTok, um, we're gonna play a few of them. I'm not gonna play them all tonight because we'll have more to play next week too. Uh, but the first one I wanted to start off with was that Real Indiana Demon House, and it's not the one that Zach Gaggins bought and tore down in Gary, Indiana. This is in Hunt. It's where is it?
Dude.
Hartford City.
There you go. That's
Hartford
correct.
City, Indiana. It's northeast Indiana. Let me pull up the video and get it ready to queue up. And then I'll share my screen. Shut up. All right, here we go. I want to share my screen with you guys. Here we go. All right, this is on TikTok. It's called Real Indiana Demon House.
Did you read all the stuff on the side there?
So yeah, the comments on the right are a little misleading because the Demon House in Gary, Indiana, wasn't called the Demon House until Zach Baggins bought the house, and this has always, from what I understand, since the investigations and stuff have started happening at this place, has always been called the Demon House. So technically, I mean, the guys in the chat are not wrong. The Demon House was in Gary, Indiana, and they have since tore it down because people were trying to get into it and nobody was there to take care of the place. Do I think it was a demon house? No, I don't. I really don't. I think it was hyped up for TV in Gary. This house, though, I kind of want to go check it out. I did see the video. I did a Google search on the house, and when Nick Groff was there, and he did find bones underneath. They had to stop the investigation and call the police department and have them come out.
Dang. The house looked like somebody's still living in it. I saw there was a light on the porch. Why would they have electricity in there?
There it is, because it's a haunted attraction.
Okay.
That's why.
Kind of like the places in Atlanta, Indiana.
This one is the Randolph County Asylum. I guess said to be one of the most haunted places in Indiana. Same dude.
We should try to get that dude on our show. He could tell us all about the places he's been to.
Why would you? Never goes.
No, never do that alone, dude. Come on now.
Just
Never
for
do that alone.
something happened to you. What if something happened in
Yeah. Those cracky old houses, a floorboard could break. You could fall through the floor. Something could hit you. Never
facts?
goes hunt alone. That's dumb.
See, what is this? This is another cool old house in Seymour. Yeah,
That's not very far from you, is it?
that's okay.
I bet that's cool inside. Nice old porch. I like how that's designed like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's definitely haunted.
Yeah, Seymour is about an hour and 45 minutes northeast of us, if not maybe more. I'd have to go up 69 probably to 50. So I'd probably have to take 64 over, then take it to 65, go north, something. I don't know. It's about an hour and 45 minutes away. So, anywho, let's see what else we got here. Kitty, stop.
There's
That
a
was
lot of interesting spots in Indiana. Oh, that one weirded me out. That's why I sent that to you. It's like, what? What? What are the chances that they're all just standing there like that? I mean, why are they all frozen in time like that? It's bizarre.
horses staying still in the rain. About horses is that I don't like
I don't
riding.
either. I've gone horseback riding before, but it's not like something I want to. That one there looks like he's mid stride, which is so bizarre. It's just so bizarre.
I don't know why they would just be standing still.
Yeah, no, that is just totally weird. That's what caught my eye, especially that one who looks like he's in mid stride and he's just like frozen there. The other ones, maybe I could see, yeah, it's snowing and kind of crappy out, and horses will all go up to the barn if they're not going inside. They'll go up against the windbreak, you know. But
Right.
that dude, like he's ready to take a stride.
Right. Yeah. It's like it
Danny,
made him stop mid stride, like, oh shit, what was that?
Danny McBride, my God, I love him. And if
All
you
right.
haven't seen the Righteous Gemstones, man, that is a funny, funny show.
Right. That has
And I love Walton Goggins is my favorite all-time character actor, and he plays Uncle Billy Bobby in this, and he is
yeah, he
stunning.
played in Justified.
And Fallout, he was the
Yeah.
dude with no nose in Fallout, and
Right.
he was in the White Lotus this last season, the White Lotus, which was fantastic. I love that show. Everything that Walton Goggins does is gold, and he's amazing. The most underrated, under acknowledged actor out there, and he's finally getting his due. here lately, and I'm glad to see it. He's gonna. As a matter of fact, I think he's gonna host Saturday Night Live tonight, and that's gonna be fantastic. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Right on. So I think my
Yeah,
we're going to look at tonight is going to be Danny McBride and his ghost experience. I watched this a little while ago and I had to giggle a little bit, so I think you guys will enjoy this one.
yeah. I can't hear it though, unfortunately.
You can hear him.
No, can't hear him. I can't hear him. I don't know if our listeners can or not. Nope, still can't hear him.
What's a bummer?
Yeah, no audio. That sucks. Don't know why.
You can hear it on my end. I've got the
Yeah.
feed open, so I'm not sure why.
No, I can't hear it.
So, well, that sucks. I hope everybody else could hear it. We'll check in the video replay
Yeah.
and see. If not, I got to figure out why.
Yeah, that sucks. Because yeah, that was a funny story. I can't remember it, but I remember laughing at it because I just love Danny McBride.
Here, tell me, can you hear this? Well, that's downloading. See,
I
I
can
can't.
a gurgling, like a little. I can't hear that.
Okay.
The creepy sound.
It's a skeleton.
It's a what?
It's called skeleton dance.
Oh, yeah, I could hear that. Yeah, I can hear it.
I need to figure out how to download these videos onto my computer, and then that way I can upload them to this software, and then we'll be able to hear them.
Yeah.
Usually, though, with this board, you'll be able to hear everything that I play. That's the whole point of the board. We'll have to
Psych.
mess
La,
with
la,
it.
la, la, la.
Yeah, we'll have to mess around with it off air and sometime this week and make sure that I can get the audio through for us. So if not, I'll switch boards. But yeah, we've got more videos that we'll be playing for you guys next week as well. But yeah, that what he was doing. He when he first moved out to LA, he got a job as a night manager at some hotel in Burbank, and they told him that the third floor or the top floor was haunted. It was a banquet hall, and he thought, well, since he was working the night shift, 11 to whenever in the morning, he would be able to write scripts all night and that was his whole idea. And instead, he spent all of his time on the top floor trying to get this ghost to talk to him. So at the end, like the actual experience that he got, he he said I was standing there and I was like, "Can make your presence known" or something like that, and everything got cold, and I just felt like I needed to get the hell out of there. So I turned around and started, hightailing it to the elevator, and I felt like something was following me the entire way. He says I got into this elevator and the doors finally closed, and then the elevator dings, and I'm like, okay, I'm off this floor, and opens up, is on the same floor. And he said that the elevator doors opened on every floor on the way back down to the first floor. He said he quit that night. He was like, I was done. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a good story. I heard him telling it when I first watched the video. So, excuse me, my
Yeah,
throat just
maybe.
went crazy.
Uh-oh.
Allergy time.
It is. It's bad here.
It's bad here too.
The car is constantly covered in pollen.
I I I made some hummingbird food the other day. I make my own hummingbird food. I don't use that prepackaged store shit because that's bad for them. 1 cup of pure cane sugar, 4 cups of filtered water. Then I boil the water, put the sugar in till it's melted good. Let it boil a minute, and the sugar just caramelizes ever so slightly. The water gets a little, just looks a little golden, but not bad a lot. Well, and I keep it in the refrigerator so that when I change the feeders every couple of days, I always have a new batch ready. Well, I wanted to hurry it up, so I put this batch on the stove to heat it up again because I didn't want to give them stark cold, food in the hot,
Right.
and I overheated it a little bit. So I set it outside on the patio for like half an hour just to cool off to so that I could put it in the feeders. And I went back out there and there was a whole layer of pollen on top of this hummingbird food. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, a whole layer of it. You could like scoop it off with a spoon, and it was pollen.
Jeez.
I'm having to use Zyrtec and Flonase
Yeah.
twice a day for the Flonase, once in the morning and once at night, and then the Zyrtec in the morning, and then occasionally I still have to take a Benadryl at night. And it's I get these sneezing fits where if I sneeze one time, then I sneeze 10 times.
Yeah.
And of course, then I have to run to the bathroom because I'm a 66-year-old woman, and that's how that shit works. So, it's awful, and it's just
Right.
this time. My son is the same way. God love him. I've seen him go to the bathroom. He sneezes so many times in a row that he goes to the bathroom and he sticks his whole face in a sink full of cold water to stop him from sneezing, and kind of sniffs it in his nose or whatever. That's the only way he can get it to stop.
Wow.
He and I are both allergic to the entire world. And then my other son, he's not allergic to anything. We all got RAS tested years and years ago. It's not the prick test where they stick things. That this was like 4 vials of blood that they
Yeah.
drew and tested for allergies. My oldest boy and I are pretty much like allergic to the whole world. All the tree pollens, all the grass pollens, hay, that yellow shit. I can't remember what it's called. Um,
Honeysuckle.
cockroach poop. Who tests for that? But they test for it, and I'm allergic to it.
Right.
And mold spores are my highest. I had like four numbers. It was 4 digits in the number of the mold spore allergies, which that's a whole lot of stuff. Thank God I don't live near a big body of water. I'd be totally screwed because mildew and mold everywhere. Like that's why I don't like to go to Florida. I'm not a beach person. I don't like the humidity because I'm allergic to mold for one thing, and I don't like sand in my ass, and I won't swim in the ocean past my toes. You know, I'm a mountain girl. Me loves me some mountains and trees and all that. Cabins. That's where I belong. What in the hell are you looking at?
You trying to figure out who in the hell you are. don't like the beach.
I do not like the beach. I don't like being hot. I don't like being sandy and covered in sand. I will not swim in the ocean. As a matter of fact, I won't swim in a lake. If water doesn't have chlorine in it, it doesn't have Debbie in it. I swim like a fish. I can swim like a mermaid. I'm a dolphin swimmer, but I am
Right.
not in anything I can't see in.
That's
Nope.
hilarious.
Nope. Won't do it. Can't do it. Never will.
I
My
like
nightmare.
I like looking at the ocean.
I like to look at it.
I
I
don't
like
mind.
to listen to the waves.
Yeah.
But and I love to metal detect on the beach during low tide. You can find some good stuff.
Oh hell
But
yeah.
I won't get in that water. No, 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 no. That is not where Debbie is ever going to be. Never.
Hilarious.
It's funny. My family used to vacation in Florida all the time. I mean, my old man wanted to go to Indian Rocks Beach every year. They got the same hotel from this little mom and pop place. This old dude that was retired, and him and his wife were like 500 years old, and they had this rundown little hotel right on the beach. It's one of those hotels that had a bedroom and then a pull-out couch and a little refrigerator and kitchenette,
Right. Yeah.
and we stayed at the same place every year at Indian Rocks Beach. It might have been called the Harbor or something like that. It was just real old. And my whole family is out there 18 miles out to sea with their little rubber dinghies and waving, and I am in the swimming pool saying hi. I wouldn't even stand on the damn beach. And that's when I was 15. So I've been smart for a long time. But yeah, no, I love mountains though. I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to be hiking up in the Maroon Bells where I can't breathe, at 10,000 feet, because I don't do altitude that well either. But uh, I do love, I do love me some Smoky Mountains and a cabin in the woods and a big campfire. Yeah, I like all. That's where I belong.
The bears will
Not
eat
the beach. I don't. They ain't gonna eat me. I'm
you.
tough. Nope.
Here lies Deb. She got ate by a bear. The
No,
end.
the shark's going to bite my leg off.
Need to
It's
get
6 of one, half a dozen of another. Whichever way you want to die, I'd rather be eaten by a bear than a shark.
Something always wants to try to kill you, man.
My big nightmare when I flew over to the UK back in the 90s, I think I went to the UK because I was invited over there to do a talk at Sheffield University for UFO stuff.
Yeah.
And so I accepted because one of my dreams, one of my bucket list things was to go to the UK, and I wanted to see Stonehenge, and I got to see Stonehenge. And I was so thrilled. I did not get to see a crop circle. I wasn't there long enough for that, but I did get to see Stonehenge, and I was thrilled about that. But anyway, I was mortified I still hate to fly, and I won't get in the air right now for all the tea in China. But I always hated flying, especially going up and going down. Once I got up, I could tolerate it, but going up and going down scared me really bad. So, of course, I'm about ready to take a 10-hour flight or 8 or 10-hour flight from LaGuardia to Heathrow. And it's all like over water, over the ocean, which I hate. And I started having nightmares about 2 weeks before, like really vivid nightmares, the kind that scared me because I thought they were like my vivid dreams that always happen. And in the nightmare, my plane crashed in the ocean. But the scary part wasn't that I didn't die. It was that I fucking survived. And my nightmare was me hanging on to something that was floating, some piece of debris from the aircraft that floated, and my legs hanging down and me hanging on to this in the pitch black dark of the ocean. That was my nightmare. I wanted to die in the plane crash, but I didn't. And then I saw later there was a movie that came out about something similar to that. I would not be able to sit through that movie. No.
You need some of that Batman shark repellent.
What?
The Batman shark repellent from the 1967 movie, Batman movie. Adam
I don't
West.
remember that.
He
I don't
is in
remember that.
really he was climbing down the ladder for the back copter, and he got close to the water, and Robin like made it go into the water, and the shark grabbed hold of his leg, and he, Robin, throw me the shark repellent, and he threw out the bat shark repellent and hit the shark in the face. That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
Now, see,
No.
I don't mind flying. It's not a big deal to me. I didn't even really mind to just fly over the water. I do not want to get on a boat. I don't want to do a cruise. I have no desire to be out in the Atlantic or the Pacific on a boat.
Hmm.
I keep
I
telling
don't want
people,
to. Yeah.
they're like, "Oh,
I
you
don't
know,
even want to. I don't even want to drive over a bridge that's over a big body of water. Like when I go over that bridge down in Louisville, from
yeah,
Clarksville to Louisville,
yeah,
I'll do it because I ain't got no other way to get to where I want to go. But I'm
right,
telling you right now, my knuckles are white as and ice cold because I am clamped down on that damn steering wheel so hard trying to stay in the middle lane away from either side of the bridge. Don't look at the water, look straight ahead. And then as soon as I get off the bridge, I got to pull over and get some breath because I hate it. I hate it. So yeah, no, I don't do boats over big
yeah,
bodies of water or any of that either.
yeah." No, no boats.
Because there may be a chance only thing I can figure is I must have drowned in a former life. That
I tell,
must have been how I died.
yeah, yeah. I tell people I had to have died on the Titanic because I have no desire, or wants, or needs to get on a freaking boat into the ocean.
You know what? I know 2 or 3 people in my life that feel the same way, and they say we all come back in pods. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't doubt that. I'm just like, nope, I'm not having it.
mm,
I don't want to do it. And unfortunately, the wife is like, I think it'd be kind of cool to take a cruise, and the only thing I can think of is hitting a freaking iceberg in the middle of the ocean and dying.
yeah, right. No, I don't think that would be something that. Now, when I went down to Florida one time, stayed down there for like 8 days in Fort Myers. And I had a friend, Fort Myers Beach, and I had a friend live down there. So he made sure I was entertained every day and come and take me. We did that treasure hunting on the beach and stuff, with the metal detectors.
Right.
And one of our other friends that was down there, it was her birthday. And so for her birthday, they arranged for her and her son and me and my friend Tim to go on this gambling boat. And it wasn't a big boat. It wasn't like a cruise liner or anything by any means, but it wasn't a little bitty boat either. It had a little area where you could eat and they served dinner. And then it had a teeny tiny casino in it.
Okay.
And it had a floor show. I mean, they had a singer and a band,
Yeah.
so it wasn't, but it was this pretty good sized boat, not really big. But they couldn't turn the gambling machines on until they were 12 miles out to sea. They had to be 12 miles from shore before they could legally turn on the gambling machine. So we cruised while we ate dinner while we cruised out that 12 miles. And then when we all got out there and then the machines all lit up, it's like gambling time. Ding, ding,
Wow.
ding, ding, ding. Yeah. And so that was kind of fun. So we did that. And then we sat out at the front of the boat, whatever the hell that's called, outside. I stayed away from the railings to watch the sunset, and that was very beautiful. And fortunately, the ocean at the time was calm, really.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of flapping around or anything like that. I didn't get car sick. I didn't get seasick or anything. I don't get seasick,
Yeah.
and my anxiety about the boat sinking kind of I was pretty there when I got on, but after I was on there for a little while, and I found out where all the uh, safety stuff was, and I saw the little safety boats and everything, I felt a little bit better. And then when they turned on the casino gambling machines, I forgot all about where I was, and I'm like, yeah, just
Right.
drop it in
Yeah.
the quarter. This was old time gambling too. Now, when you go to the casino, then you just get a slip of paper that spits out
Yeah.
a slip of paper, and then you cash it in. This one, they gave you a little bucket, like a
Yeah.
popcorn bucket,
Yeah.
and the machines actually spit out quarters and dimes and shit.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It. Yeah. This. generation of gamblers, I should say, they don't know about the real coin or even like the dollar coins that would come out of the machines and you would
Or
have to
the
go cash.
tokens.
Yeah.
Right, the tokens. And there's nothing like listening to the sound of your bucket getting filled up with a whole pile of tokens, and your hands is black from
From
the filth on these
yeah,
tokens.
getting your free drinks and gambling your little heart
Yeah.
out.
And you know what? You didn't spend as much money then either,
No.
because you had to actually reach in the bucket, put your coins in, and then pull the slot. Now these people just sit there and go on the buttons, and they never, you know what I mean? They just on. So it's more fun my way. I didn't spend nearly as much money. I got more entertainment for it. You know what I mean? Now it's just like, it's almost like when you watch people sitting at slot machines gambling like they do, and the way they just hit that bet. They don't even pull down on the lever no more. It's almost like watching somebody with some kind of tick.
Yeah.
You know, over and over and over and over and over. Oh well. Anyways, totally off topic. Have nothing to do with paranormal stuff. I don't know, except for maybe the fear of the ocean that Greg and I both share might be a little weird, but
Yeah, that at one point I was invited to go out on an expedition to where the Titanic went down and do a paranormal investigation. And I'm glad that shit fell through because I wasn't feeling that. You know, I was just like, I don't think that I don't know that
as
I
far
could
as
have
I'm
done it.
concerned, down there, that to go in there and mess around with anything to me is almost like sacrilegious. That's like a burial site now. I mean, so many people lost their life
That's
there. I think it should be left
like,
alone.
that's like going to the World Trade Center and trying to do EVPs.
Yeah, that's just no. That's no bueno.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
Mm-mm.
So, but anywho, yeah, that was a little bit off topic, but like you said, I mean, not doing the big big boat water. Nope. And I'm not, I got family that likes to go down to Gatlinburg and stay in cabins, and they've walked out onto the porch and had bears and shit on the front porch. I'm like, nope.
Oh, I wouldn't walk out on the front porch. I
Dude,
would
I'm
just
not
sit.
doing
I would
that.
just sit and look out the window.
Nope, not doing that either.
I
I
love
mean,
the Smoky Mountains.
I don't mind the country. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind, it's a nice place to visit and I don't want to stay. But I mean, it's even better like, oh, I love snow and I love when it glistens on, snow is great to look at like on this side of my monitor. And I can see the landscape on my monitor, but I don't want to go there. You know what I mean? I mean, you can keep that cold, you can keep that snow. Nobody wants that. I'm just saying.
I love to look at snow. I like to be out in snow, walking around. I don't like to drive in it, but I like to be out in it because the whole world is quiet.
No,
The whole world is
I
quiet.
go out on my back porch, and the only thing I hear is an occasional car going up 66 and the birds in my tree, and then I can come back. Then I come
Shut
back
up.
in. So, all right, everybody, we're up to well, we're past the top of the hour, but yeah, that's how we usually roll anyway.
Yeah.
So, remember, you can check us out on YouTube at Midwest Prayer Talk Radio. You can also check us out on Facebook Live, on Facebook Cable GD, and on Twitch at Old Man Gaming. That's O1D Man Gaming. We are getting back on TikTok Live, so you guys can check us out on TikTok. And once I have all that information, I'll give you that so you can look at. I believe it's G Cable 1 on TikTok, and we'll be putting videos out there as well. So next week coming up, we'll discuss more of the videos that Deb has sent over of the weird and crazy paranormal stuff and UFO stuff. And we'll give you our take on them. Feel free to leave comment down in the YouTube page on what you think about the videos, your take on them. And we'll discuss that in the shows as well. So, all right, with that being said, I guess we're out of beer out of here. And we'll see you guys sometime this next week.
See ya.
I don't know when, but you'll do it. I swear.
Yep, for sure.
See you guys. Have a good one. Have a good weekend.